This person is dumber than this person right now, not because of drugs, not because of sleep deprivation, because they are doing what you are probably doing right now, checking their phone while trying to work, and what I am about to tell you might change how you work forever. We live in a world that worships multitasking. Job listings demand it, managers praise it, we brag about it. I am great at multitasking. We say it like it is a superpower, like juggling more balls makes us more valuable. But what if I told you that everything you believe about multitasking is a lie? Not an exaggeration, not a hot take, a lie, exposed by decades of neuroscience that most people have never heard. Over the next 18 minutes, I am going to show you exactly what happens inside your brain when you multitask, why the world's top neuroscientists say it is impossible, and why 98% of people who think they are good at it are wrong. But more importantly, I am going to show you what actually works, because once you understand the science, you cannot unsee it. Let us start with Dr. Earl Miller. He is a neuroscientist at MIT, one of the world's leading experts on how the brain handles attention. Here is what he says: people cannot multitask very well, and when people think they are multitasking, they are actually just switching from one task to another very rapidly, and every time they do there is a cognitive cost. Read that again. Every single time you switch tasks, your brain pays a price. Here is what is happening in your head right now, your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for focus, decision-making, and complex thought. It has a bottleneck. It can only process one cognitive task at a time, not two, not three. 1. When you think you are doing two things at once, you are actually doing something far more exhausting: rapid task switching. Your brain is bouncing back and forth hundreds of times per hour, and each bounce has a cost. Dr. Gloria at UC Irvine spent years studying what happens when knowledge workers get interrupted. What she found is disturbing. It takes an average of 23 minutes and 15 seconds to fully regain focus after a single interruption. 23 minutes for one interruption. Let us do the math. The average worker gets interrupted about 60 times per day. If even half of those require refocusing, that is over 11 hours of lost focus every single day. But wait, there is only 8 hours in a workday, which means most people never actually focus at all. They spend their entire day in a state of partial attention, never fully present on anything. It gets worse. Researcher Sophie Leroy discovered something she calls attention residue. When you switch from task A to task B, part of your brain is still thinking about task A. It is like a ghost that follows you, taking up mental bandwidth you do not even realize you are losing. People need to stop thinking about one task in order to fully transition their attention and perform well on another. Yet results indicate it is difficult for people to transition their attention. This is why you feel mentally exhausted after a day of quote-unquote light work. You were not working light. You were paying the switching tax over and over and over. Remember that opening? Here is the study. Researchers at the Institute of Psychiatry in London tested over 1,100 workers. They found that multitasking with electronic devices caused a temporary IQ drop of 10 to 15 points. That is not a metaphor. That is measured cognitive impairment. You are literally thinking worse, making worse decisions, missing obvious things, producing lower quality work. And unlike being high or sleep deprived, you do not even notice it is happening. Right now, some of you are thinking, okay, but I am actually good at multitasking. I have been doing it for years. I get it. I thought the same thing. Dr. David Strayer at the University of Utah went looking for people who could actually multitask. He called them supertaskers, and he found them. They exist. About 2% of the population shows no performance decline when doing multiple complex tasks. Their brains are structurally different. 2%, which means 98% of people who think they are good at multitasking are wrong. Including, statistically, you. Here is the cruel irony. Research shows there is an inverse relationship between how good people think they are at multitasking and how good they actually are. The more confident you are, the worse you probably perform. So why do we keep doing it? Why does multitasking feel productive? Because your brain rewards novelty. Every time you check a notification, answer an email, switch to something new, you get a tiny hit of dopamine. You feel busy. You feel important. You feel like you are getting things done. But feeling productive and being productive are not the same thing. You can run on a wheel all day and feel exhausted. Does not mean you went anywhere. And here is the uncomfortable truth. The modern workplace is designed to make you multitask. Open offices, instant messaging, back-to-back meetings, the expectation of immediate responses. A McKinsey study found knowledge workers spend over 60% of their time on electronic communication and internet searching, only 40% on actual work. We have built an entire work culture around the thing that makes us worst at working. This is not your fault, but it is your problem. Now, before you think I am saying you can never do two things at once, let me be clear about what the research actually shows. You can walk and talk, you can listen to music while exercising, you can fold laundry while watching TV. The key is one task must be automatic, something your brain can do without conscious attention. What you cannot do is focus on two things that both require thinking. 2 emails, a conversation and a text, a report and a meeting. That is not multitasking, that is self-sabotage. Here is the distinction that matters. Multitasking, 2 cognitive tasks simultaneously, impossible for 98% of people. Task switching, rapidly alternating between tasks, possible but costly. Managing priorities, working on different projects over time, necessary and normal. No one is saying you can only have one project. The research says when you are working on something, actually work on it, then switch. Do not try to do both at once. There is a state of mind that is the opposite of multitasking. Psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi called it flow. You have felt it before, that feeling of being completely absorbed in something. Time disappears, distractions fade, you are just in it. Flow requires 3 things: clear goals, immediate feedback, and a challenge that matches your skill level. You know what destroys all 3? Interruptions. Every notification, every quick check, every context switch kicks you out of flow. And it takes 15 to 25 minutes to get back in. Most people have not experienced real flow in years. They have forgotten what their brain is actually capable of. Georgetown professor Cal Newport calls this deep work. Professional activities performed in a state of distraction-free concentration that push your cognitive capabilities to their limit. Deep work is so important that we might consider it the superpower of the 21st century. Here is his argument. The ability to focus deeply is becoming increasingly rare and increasingly valuable. Those who cultivate it will thrive. Those who do not will struggle to keep up. In a world where everyone is distracted, focus is a competitive advantage. So how do you actually do it? Here is what the research supports. First, time blocking. Schedule your deep work like a meeting. Block 2 to 3 hours where you do nothing but focus on one thing. Protect it like your job depends on it, because it might. Second, environment design. Your willpower is limited, do not rely on it. Remove the phone from the room, close the tabs, use website blockers. Make distraction harder than focus. Third, the ready-to-resume plan. When you must switch tasks, and sometimes you must, write down exactly where you are and what your next action is. Sophie Leroy's research shows this reduces attention residue. Fourth, batch similar tasks. Do not check email throughout the day. Check it twice, maybe 3 times. Batch your calls, batch your meetings. Group similar tasks so your brain is not constantly reconfiguring. Fifth, embrace boredom. This one is hard. Stop filling every moment with stimulation. Wait in line without your phone. Let your mind wander. Your brain needs downtime to consolidate and create. Here is the mindset shift that changes everything. Old thinking, I need to do more things at once to keep up. New thinking, I need to protect my focus to do my best work. Single tasking is not about doing less. It is about doing better. It is about respecting what your brain is actually capable of when you stop sabotaging it. The research is clear. Focusing on a single task saves time, improves accuracy, and reduces stress. You finish faster, you make fewer mistakes. You feel less exhausted. That is not a trade-off, that is a win on every dimension. So here is my challenge to you. Tomorrow, try 1 hour of real single tasking, phone in another room, notifications off, one task, full attention. Notice how hard it is at first. Notice the urge to check, to switch, to do something else. Then notice what happens when you push through. Notice the depth of thought you forgot you were capable of. That feeling, that is your brain working the way it was designed to work. We started with a comparison, someone multitasking versus someone high. But here is the thing about being high. At least you know you are impaired. Multitasking is worse because you do not even realize what you are losing. You feel productive while producing less. You feel busy while going nowhere. You feel in control while your attention is being stolen. Now you know, and you cannot unknow it. The question is, what are you going to do about it?